So I'm a little bit sad right now. Don't fall for that. It's a trap. Gonna trick you. I have a healing tomorrow, and I'm going to be channeling someone who's passed for a good friend. So there's some sadness. And I was going to raise my vibration before I started this, but I decided to start this with this instead of just fixing it. Because, so even though it's for a session that I'm having tomorrow, so for a client that's coming tomorrow, I'm feeling sad for them now. Okay. Now, just like the story about the, you can hear it as a priest or a rabbi or a life coach jumping in the hole, the woman who's trapped in the hole and that no one can get her out. The rope's not long enough, the ladder's not long enough, those stories. And then the priest or the rabbi or whoever or the life coach jumps in the hole with her and says, "What are you doing? Now we're both stuck." And so the woman says, "What did you do that for? Now we're both stuck." And the life coach or the minister says, "No, I've been here before. I know the way out." All right, so I'm gonna walk you through this sadness. All right, so since I've been here before and I know the way out, I'm just gonna enjoy my sadness. I'm gonna enjoy it. My sadness is because I have a close connection with this client, and person that they had a close connection with is no longer on the physical plane, and so I'll be grateful and lucky to channel that deceased person for my client, okay? And I'm grateful for that ability, and they'll be grateful for that ability. So that's happening now, but that doesn't change the sadness. So I can still enjoy the sadness and let the sadness just be a little heavy on my heart for my friend. Just let it be a little heavy on my heart and enjoy this feeling for what it is, knowing it's not going to be here forever. Good. So you understand. Now, when you have clients, especially with the distance, Reiki, so this is a Reiki II video. It's for my Reiki students that don't play on Facebook. When you have a distance Reiki II attunement, it's even easier for you to lend support. It's so easy when someone goes, "So-and-so's not feeling good." Okay, tell them I'll send them in energy, or ask them if they want a healing, right? So it's so easy. They don't have to come to you. You could have them on the phone, or you could hang up the phone and you can immediately start sending healing energy their way. Great. That is great. The thing is, as we said last time, if you're attached to feeling good is good and feeling bad is bad, or having this disease is bad and not having that disease is good, then you're setting yourself up for resistance. And whenever there's resistance, there's pain. So all pain comes from resistance. So when I told you that I was feeling sad, if you tried to feel sorry for me, feel sorry for Carla, that's not a good use of your energy. Time, energy, money, your resources. Feeling sorry for me, it doesn't help me. It just makes me feel bad that you feel bad. And then more of us are feeling bad, and there's more bad feeling. Okay? So I hope that makes sense. When your clients come in, and if they feel bad, or if you hear about a client that you're going to work on, they feel bad, just allow that to be just what it is. And then don't worry, you're going to get your own problems, right? So Carla can handle it. Carla feels bad. Okay, that's just what's happening now. Carla feels sad. Okay, well that's just what's happening now. Okay, has nothing to do with me. Healthy boundaries. Good. The best healers have the healthiest boundaries. I could be the best healer in the world. if I throw all my energy at low vibrational people just because I feel bad for them, then the people in the higher vibrations won't get any of my effort. And then I won't get to see, I'm seeing some of my clients flourish like profoundly right before my eyes because of healthy boundaries. Okay. Now, as a healer, even as a human, so anything that makes you a better healer is going to make you a better human, because you're going to have a better life for yourself, which means you're going to raise your vibration, and then more people will be served from your higher vibration. If you don't understand my obsession with vibration by now, then you need to schedule a healing. Okay, so when it comes to being a healer and healing another person, you can't climb into their boat and fix stuff for them. You know, you drive your boat up next to their boat, but you stay in your boat and you assist them in the steering of their boat just for an hour, 2 hours, or, you know, sessions, whatever. And then they're strong enough to drive their own boat and smart enough to drive their own boat or whatever. Or they come back and then you can help them again. You never climb into somebody else's boat. Never, never. Okay. I am. It's about me. Capital I-A-M. It's about me. My life is about me. Yes, we're all connected through the collective. Yes, absolutely. But if I don't take care of me, then I can't raise my vibration enough. If I'm worried about all the people I'm trying to bring everybody with me, if I'm worried about everybody, or including my clients, if I'm worried, I'm lowering my vibration to 100. That is not going to be good healing happening out of that. Now, I talk about healing, but it's still life too. I'm a better friend. I'm a better resource for everyone if I live my life as a healer. So I used to just be a healer and then live my life as a normal person. On January 30th, that wall came crashing down. There is no normal person anymore. It's all one person. It's just one. I had no idea how much energy I was using in creating a wall between healer me and normal person me, who just likes to meditate. So now that's gone. So everything's changing, everything's shifting. Things are getting higher vibrational. If you're looking around and you're seeing a lot of people freaking out, you're witnessing lower vibrational people having a harder time. Remember I said some people are going up and some people are going to go down. If you're watching people freak out, you're watching people going down. You're watching them. But there's a lot of people going up right now. Freedom, 900. Freedom, empowerment, gratitude, vibration. All right. So don't climb into somebody else's boat. Don't feel sorry for me or anybody else. Don't feel sorry for me. If I'm sad right now, then that's just what's happening now. I can handle it. And then in your mind, I want you to go, Carla's sad right now, but she can handle it. So I want you to cheer me on. If I'm sad or your client's sad or your client's sick, okay? Use your mind, change your mind. I don't feel sorry for that person, because then we all feel like shit. Change your mind. Cheer them on. Cheer me on. I'm sad. Cheer me on. Carla can handle this. You got this. That's a 900 level vibration. That's an empowerment vibration. So all the people beating the drum of victimhood, whether they're doing it for themselves or other people, it's still beating the drum of victimhood. Ask me questions as you go if you want. All right, so beating the drum of victimhood, whether it's for yourself or it's for a group with this genitalia or this skin color or this religion, if you're beating the drum of victimhood, then you're in a lower vibration. If you're beating the drum of empowerment, you're raising your vibration to 900. Cheer me on. All right. I have, I don't want to talk too long. All right. So I posted in the book, in the Facebook group, MASARU EMOTO's water. I'm going to show. Okay. Something about this. There's a short, I'm I'm going to be posting short versions of videos, just so that you get your mouth water, get your mouth watering, tantalize you with the stuff that I love that may be dorky and boring. So if you just watch the short ones, the 6 minutes. Okay, so Roxanne's vibe is low today for sure. Okay, so we don't feel sorry for you. You can do it. We just send you love. We just send you love. We just send love to Roxanne. But enjoy, what am I feeling? Enjoy the feeling that you have. That lowness, the more you exercise through the lower vibrations, the more when they come, it's like, when I get mad now, it's like a rush. It's like a drug. It's like fun. Anyway, these hidden messages in water. So your body is between 70 and 80% water, just like the planet. Okay. I wonder if that's a coincidence. And I don't want to go over what the video said, because the video was self-explanatory how he comes up with these things. I just want to show. My son liked these pictures, so he helped me out by ripping them out of my book when he was about 1. I just want to show a couple. One is like over hate. There's like and there's hate underneath. Like on top, hate underneath. See, there's a hole. All right. Just one example. You can look more of these up. And now this one I want to show you. War and peace. War on top and peace. So this is important. So these pictures were taken. I'll just do one more. Thank you, and you idiot. And thank you, you idiot. I love this man. He's so cute. All right, so thank you, and you idiot, and thank you, you idiot. That's pretty funny. All right. So our body's made of water. If we're holding a grateful gratitude vibration, this is how the water in our body is going to look like this. Okay? It doesn't matter what we're grateful about. If we're mad at ourselves for being stupid or whatever, we are disharmonizing the water in our body. All right, it's fine. But which one do you want to choose? What do you choose? The stuff I'm going to share either Friday. I have to find my other book. I love books. I could show you. This room is horrendous, but I love books so much. Oh, so much. It's like dogs, books, people. So MASARU EMOTO did a really cool experiment where he had all these people in one country, and I don't want to get it wrong, and they prayed over water that was thousands of miles away. And he led a group prayer over the water. I'm going to read that later, Colleen. Okay. And whoever else, you can read Colleen's. You people on YouTube can't read it. So I don't lose my train of thought. That happens when I get involved. I can't help myself now. All right, I'll read it. I hear Sadhguru say something really beautiful about sadness. He was talking about enjoy the depth of it, as the greatest happiness does not have the depth that sadness does. Just enjoy it when you feel this. But I like the way he said happiness does not have the vast depth that sadness does. And there's a kids movie called Inside Out. The first time you watch this movie, Inside Out, sadness is blue, and joy is the main character, and she runs the show and this girl's emotions. And so you're like on joy's side, and you're like, no, sadness. You're like, no, sadness. You keep touching these core memories, and you're turning them blue. You're ruining. Okay, so you go through. I'm not ruining it for you. The first time through the movie, sadness is ruining the memories. Everything she touches turns blue. And there's this one scene where Joy is so annoyed, and every time Joy's attention is diverted, Sadness is over there, and she's like touching stuff. She's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to do." And you're like, "No, Sadness." And Joy's like, "No, Sadness." And so then Joy draws this circle on the ground, and she just and Sadness's toe is over the edge, and Joy just pushes her toe right into the circle. It's so funny. But at the end of the movie, towards the end, you really realize the beauty of sadness, and it is sad. And if you get being able to do healing work is like the most profound thing. To be with someone on a path when things are falling apart, you know, and they're just like surrendered. It's so beautiful. There's a huge responsibility to it. It's a big responsibility. And that can get pretty scary. I almost quit a couple times for some reasons. But I had one student tell me how many people she helped because of what I taught her, how she listed all these people. It was something like 14 people. That was a long time ago. She's like, "I've helped 14 people because of what you taught me. And I'm not done. So, you know, so whatever." Anyway, yeah, sadness, there's a depth to it. And Jack Kornfield talks about 10,000 joys, 10,000 sorrows. And, you know, people think they want to be present just for the 10,000 joys, and they want to rush or speed through the 10,000 sorrows. But you really need to work on being present for both, because the more present you can be for your sorrows, the more grounded present you can be for your sorrows, the more present you are for your joys. And there's this thing the ego wants to do. It wants to speed through the sorrows and slow down, you know, the joys to make them last longer. Either way is resistance. Whether you're trying to speed through your sorrows or slow down your joys, you're in resistance mode. And then you're not present. That's what my book's about, part of it. No, that's what it's about. It's about all that stuff. So anyway, which one first? All right. I have this paper. I'm gonna post this in the group, but I'm gonna read it. Raising your vibration. Let's talk about lowering your vibration first. What lowers your vibration? Junk food, hard alcohol, toxic relationships, negative thoughts, environmental toxins, toxic products. This says excess red meat, but I think that might depend on your blood type, your body type, or something like that. But I'm going over it because I am going to post it, and I don't want people to think that I'm saying that, because I don't know. I don't know about excess red meat. I don't know. There was a woman, Leah Keith, who was a vegan for 25 years, and she thought she was dying. She had all these problems, and then she ate a cheeseburger, and she felt the blood come back to her face. So I don't know about that. White sugar, definitely. Medication, radiation, yelling, arguing, holding on to the past, anger, resentment, and guilt. Raising your vibration. Gratitude, so that's 900. Kindness. Love is 500 vibration. Joy, 540. Passion. Forgiveness. Acceptance, with 3 C's. This is a spelling error. Sunshine. Sunshine. The sun makes 2,000 different chemicals on your skin. So your skin with sun on it makes 2,000 different chemicals. After people started putting sunscreen on, this is my personal opinion, and I got this from a holistic lifestyle course that I got to take for free, which was neat. It said that they looked at the sunscreen generation. The kids that were put sunscreen on, they went to college at a certain year. The year those kids were in college, they had the same levels of diabetes that 80-year-old people had. And this man who did this class thinks that it was all the sunscreen, that it led to higher rates of diabetes. All right, sunshine, walking in nature. So in nature, you breathe in the trees, in the bark, and the leaves, have chemical compounds that are in essential oils. So if you live in a city, you could talk to me. I'll help you get your hands on essential oils. That's another passion of mine, because they really help you ground, because you're taking in, through breathing, when you're out in nature, you're breathing in all these beautiful chemical compounds that nature uses, and your body takes them all the way into the nucleus of the cell, because we're made of the same stuff. Okay. Breathing deeply. When you breathe deeply, your body feels like you're not stressed. When your breath shortens, your body thinks that we're scared. So breathing deep. So I say, calm down, come to center. Calm down, come to center. So because our mind is so powerful, when we calm down and come to center, we can actually create time. So this is a distance healing class. So we're going to be talking about time and distance being the same, basically. It's a concept that we buy into in order to live our lives. One of my clients who came with cancer, he had two kinds of cancer. And his dad, who has passed, said, you're on this track now. There's a middle path, and then there's another timeline, sorry. You're on this timeline, there's a middle path, and then there's another timeline over here where you're completely healthy. And so we're with you here right now. We're here on this timeline where you have all this sickness. Well, we're gonna jump you, and then we're gonna jump you over to this timeline where you're in perfect health. Okay. So even while he was sick, I hope this makes sense. It makes so much sense when it's happening in my head. We were together, my client, me, and the father were together on the timeline in which he was sick. But at the same time, simultaneously, there were two other timelines that his father was showing me that we were aware of. And the farthest timeline over was the one with perfect health. It was in existence while we were on the sick timeline. Okay. So time and distance, same. All right. Breathing deeply, yoga, exercise. When you do yoga, if you go to yoga classes, don't stress out in a yoga class because your ass crack's hanging out or because you aren't doing it right. Don't go to yoga classes and stress more. That is not what it's designed to do. Okay? Meet yourself where you are. If it's your first day in the yoga class, your first week, or your first month, and if you're not completely applying yourself, it's going to take you longer. But wherever you are, if you go, and if you're doing yoga, even if you're not in a class, if you're just doing it off Instagram or YouTube, people put stuff up all the time, or a DVD from, if you get a yoga DVD, good. Just be patient with yourself and love playing with your body through yoga, through dancing, okay? Exercise, play with your body, laughing, smiling, hugging, singing, dancing, grounding, also called earthing to the New Agers. Raw whole foods, so also called living foods. Living foods. And if you get into that, there are people who dedicate their entire life to raw whole foods and living foods. They know how to take beans and sprout them, all that stuff. I'm not your guy for that, but I think that stuff's cool. And it's a whole science in and of itself. You could spend your whole life learning all about that. Greens, fruits, nuts, relaxing music, which, music is in here too. That's in the video too that I put up. And creativity. Creativity is in the second, it has to do with the second chakra. All right. I just found this. This just popped up. So, another ripped out page. But it says, the power of prayer can change the world. Crystals produced before and after prayers were offered for the water. And the world are dramatically different, as can be seen from these examples. So, I don't know where the before is, but here's the after. So, prayer. You know, that word triggers some people. That's okay. If it triggers you, it's fine. But prayer or healing, it's just intense energy. So if the word prayer triggers you, then call it healing. So they've proven that food that's been prayed over or energized, so you see people do this, has more nutrients. It wakes it up. It's because of this. It's because of all this. You know, it's because of gratitude. It's all this stuff. Here's thank you. That's what you're doing to the water in the food. If you pray over it, you're changing the way the water in the food looks. It's more harmonious. And then when you eat it, you're going to be eating more harmony. So my teachers didn't speak English as a first language. So there's a lot of stuff that we would just go through. I would just, not trying to be, you know, a douche, but like in the beginning of some of these classes, I was just going through the motions and like internally rolling my eyes. Like, oh, I don't like this part. I don't like this part of the class in my head, you know? And I was doing it. I was still doing it, but as time went on and I started to get like what we're doing and about how energy is everything and vibration is everything, I realized what they were having us do was way more profound. It was very simple actions that have profound results. And if you think about that for just a minute, simple actions, profound results. That's really the basis of people who are minimalists. They're much more calm in their space because they have less stuff. I'm not telling you to be a minimalist, I'm just saying, keep it in mind. Simplicity leads to more profound experiences because you become more available to the subtle things happening. And all psychic or intuitive beings is sensitive to the subtle energies. So energy has information in it. When we start doing the healing work, you'll see as you're channeling energy, as you're running energy, when you're completely calm and you're just present, you start to become available to intuitive guidance, intuitive information, and hearing people who've passed. That's all it is. They don't need. They're using energy, and energy's being used to communicate. It's like a telepathic communication through spirit, but it happens through the energy. So when we calm down, we come to center, we raise our vibration, we simplify everything, we slow everything down, we relax, we're just present with what is. This is what's happening now. And then you start not trying to figure out what's going to happen next, but just being available to what's going to happen next. I'm here now. This is what's happening now. And the more you just ground and present, grounding, presence, raising the vibration, expanding, your energy expands, and then it just becomes easier and easier to like read. It's like reading. It's like feeling it and reading it. All right, I'm going to read this and I'll post this. That might be it because I don't want to keep you guys on too long. And I'll see you in 2 nights on Friday. Hi, loves. It's called 11 Rules for Being Human. Number 1, I have received a body. I may like it or hate it, but it will be mine for the entire period this time around. Number 2, I will learn lessons. I am enrolled in a full-time informal school called Life, or Earth School. Each day in this school, I will have the opportunity to learn lessons. Notice it's called an opportunity. I'll have the opportunity to learn lessons. I may like these lessons or think them irrelevant or stupid. Number 3, there are no mistakes, only lessons. Growth is a process of trial and error and experimentation. the failed experiments are as much a part of my process as the experiment that ultimately works. There was a kids movie again called The Robinsons, and they celebrated failure. That was cute. That was a cute part of that. All right, number 4. I repeat my lessons until I learn them. A lesson will be presented to me in various forms until I have learned it. This is where I got, the soul is attached to the lesson, not to the classroom. When I have learned it, I can go to the next lesson. I just thought of something else I want to talk about. Oh, what did you want to talk about this too? Number 5, learning lessons does not end. There is no part of my life that does not contain lessons. If I am alive, then there are lessons to be learned. Oh, okay. I want to share one story. Hey, Gray. Hey, Dave, can you close the door? My dog opened it. All right. So I had a client. No, it wasn't a client. I had a friend call me, and I couldn't hear. And then she hung up. And then as soon as she hung, I said, "I can't hear you. Call me back. You know, when you get a better signal or whatever." After she hung up, her father, who had just passed, came through, and I said, "Oh, her dad died." So she called me. I said, "Oh, your dad died." She said, "Yeah." I said, "Okay, this is what he wants you to know. He wants you to know that dying was nothing compared to there's no pain." He said, "There's no pain involved in my death." He said, "Tell the girls," which is my friend and her mother, "tell the girls that the pain that they went through to bring children into the world was so much greater than I experienced no pain. Tell them I had no pain when I passed." And then he said, "Think of me with family in California rather than, in Connecticut. So just think of me, I'm with family somewhere else. I'm with family on the West Coast." Because he said, it really is like, I am with family, I'm on the other side, but I'm with the family who's deceased rather than still living. And I said, "Okay." And then he said, "I have to go to my life review. I'll be right back." So he came back after his life review, and I said, "How did it go?" And he says, "Well, I could have done better." Because one of the things he said, I was supposed to learn that there was no difference between weak or strong. And I kept trying to make myself strong again. He said, if only I could, like, he showed me on his, he wasn't in a hospital, he was in some sort of bed, but he said, if only I could have reached through the veils and I could have known that there's no, if I could have known that lesson, and I would have just been on I didn't know it was my deathbed. I was fighting that was my deathbed. I was resisting that I was going to die. And he said, if only I knew I was going to die, and if only I knew that there's no difference between being strong or weak, if I could have learned that at that point, he said, I would have enjoyed my visitors. I would have appreciated all the cookies. Somebody brought him a tin with like oatmeal raisin, like his favorite cookies or something. He got flowers, he got cards, he got balloons. But he got visitors, and he's like, if only I had known, I would have. Thanks, look. He goes, if only I had known, then I would have appreciated and enjoyed all my visitors. But he said, I just kept, my mind I kept talking about and thinking about, I got to get out of here. I got to get strong. I got to get out of here. And from where he was, because he was past, he goes, like, not like what an idiot, but I can't even believe that I thought like I was going to get out of there. Like the writing was on the wall. It was so obvious. So he goes, please tell people this. So a lot of the people who passed, they want me to share stuff like this. And this is one of the things. He's like, please tell people this. Whatever they're trying to get back to, if it's health, if it's whatever it is, like, the more that they can come to terms with there's no difference between things like weak and strong, and just to enjoy whatever's happening now, then they have a better chance of actually getting strong again or whatever it is. But he said, I had all those people there, all those times, all those minutes, all those hours, all those days, all those weeks, and I didn't appreciate any of it. I didn't even eat, I didn't even care about the cookies. I didn't care about all these gifts they were bringing. I didn't care about any of it. And I sat there and I made small talk and I just kept talking about how I was going to get out of there and I was going to get strong and all stuff. He's like, I wasted so much time on that deathbed, and it could have been an unbelievable experience if I really just took it for what it was, and I was like, these people are here visiting me for the very last time, and how much they love me, and feel it, and just take it in. So he wasn't mad at himself. He's a really, really cool guy. Okay. Number 6. There. I do this way too much, but these are really on here, so I have to do this. There is no better a place than here. When my there has become here, I will simply obtain a new there that will again look better to me than here. Number 7. Others are merely mirrors of me. I cannot love or hate something about another person unless it reflects to me something I love or hate about myself. As it is inside, so it is outside. As it is outside, so it is inside. We are born with a... Okay, so then this is this. This is how I teach it, and you may get it a better way, or you may have a better way to say it, but we're born with a wall. So I made this up. I made this up based on a whole bunch of different books and listening to people talk, and so I made this up, so if it sucks, no. If it's great, it's all me too. All right. We're born with a wall inside, and each brick represents something that blocks us from love. We meet others who show us these internal bricks. Okay. So we think of it like, okay, so then, and then when I do healing work, oh, this is turning longer than I wanted, but it's flowing, so I'm going to go. When I do healing work, sometimes the people that I'm channeling are people who've lived before, and they're related, friends or family to the person. Sometimes it's angels, sometimes it's the person's higher self. Those have different qualities. Sometimes they have guides. Now, usually, the guides are not people that they ever knew. Usually the guides feel like human beings. They lived as humans, but they figured out the game of life, and they got all of the pieces on the game board. So they figured out the game of life, and they got all the game pieces, and now they're helping my client. So you can change out guides depending on what you're working on, because some guides are really good at self-righteousness, and they help you with the self-righteousness piece. But why wouldn't we be born with this perfect ability to love? Why would we not just be born loving? Because that's not the game. If you think about life as a game, I think it helps a lot. I think it lightens it up and makes it easier for you not to take things so personally. You know, be impeccable with your word and don't take anything personally. It's number 2. So when I see my own self-righteousness, and I realize that I'm self-righteous, I have this brick in the wall that blocks me from loving. I can't love this person because they're doing the wrong thing. Okay? But once they, and I apologize to people who know this before, but once I clear the self-righteousness brick, once I work on the self-righteousness game piece and I get it, this brick that keeps me from loving dissolves. So now I can love more, but the coolest part is that when this brick of self-righteousness dissolves, now I have this unbelievable understanding of self-righteousness. So now when I see self-righteousness in another person, it doesn't make me mad unless I have that brick going strong. So if I have a brick of self-righteousness that's solid, if it's solid, and I see self-righteousness, I'm going to, in someone else, we hate in others what we deny in ourselves. So if I'm self-righteous and I have a strong brick there blocking me from love, my ego is going to bring people who have the self-righteousness too. It's going to show me self-righteousness. I'm going to go, she's such a bitch. She is such a Karen. That's the thing now. She's such a Karen. Look at that Karen, right? Once I address and learn, and I get the game piece of self-righteousness, my self-righteousness brick dissolves. You like the Karen, don't you, Brandon? You like that Karen. All right. This dissolves. What's left here is not just the wisdom and the clearing of the self-righteousness. There's this deeper level of wisdom and knowledge, but there's also compassion for people who still have this brick, because I know what it's like. So now I can watch someone who's self-righteous. So, and this is how it is. So first, I become aware that I'm self-righteous. And then something will happen. I go, oh my God, that's self-righteous. And I go, I would love to tell this person off. I would really love to do that. Oh, I feel like I'm right. Oh, but I'm not going to do that because I know that's self-righteous. And the awareness of it is going to shift it over time. The more awareness, the faster it's going to shift. Then I see somebody who's self-righteous, who's doing it again somewhere else. My soul brings someone else in front of me that's self-righteous, and I'm like, that person's self-righteous. I remember when I used to act like that. Oh, cringe, right? Oh, my God, I remember I used to do that. Oh, then as it keeps moving forward, now when I see someone who's self-righteous, all I have is compassion. Because even though that Karen is screaming at somebody for whatever it is, there's all these videos, people are posting all these videos of all these Karens. Now I can see it, and I can say, ooh, she's suffering, or he's suffering, because boys can be Karens too. All right, so I want to go over that. Okay, that makes sense. All right, so it's very cool. This whole game of life, this whole thing, can't take anything personally. The whole thing is a game. There's no way for me to, I just want to just dump everything in my head into your heads and then go from here. You're going to get more and more of an understanding why I've been afraid to speak for so long, because I just see things so differently. Some people get triggered if I say life's a game. Okay. So, number 8. What I make of my life is up to me. I have all the tools and resources I need. What I do with them is up to me. The choice is mine. Okay. Now, what I make of my life is up to me. I have all the tools and resources I need. This is where, we say, I've made you say, I am all I need, and I have all I need. I am all I need. I am all I need. So just keep that in your mind. I am all I need. Relax, come to center. Calm down, come to center. I am all I need. Now, there's always going to be ways for you to get sick. When your vibration is 900, your consciousness is so expanded that you won't be able to get sick unless there's a sacred contract for you to get sick. Okay, but fear, it's 100 level vibration. So shame is 20, guilt is 30. 50 is apathy, 75 is grief, 100 is fear, 125 is desire, but it's not the law of attraction desire. Oh, I don't want to talk about that right now. 150 is anger, okay? 150, anger and below. So if you just know that guilt's 30, fear's 100, and 150 is anger, those are the lower vibrations. It's easy to get sick when you're in those vibrations, especially if you're running with a mask on and you're not getting enough oxygen to your brains. All right. So what I make of my life is up to me. That's my teacher saying, change your mind. Change your mind. Lauren's watching and reminded me today, when you feel anxiety, you can change it to excitement. So if you think about right before you get on a roller coaster, right before you climb onto a roller coaster, you don't know what's going to feel, well, maybe you feel, no, it's, but before you get on a roller coaster, there's an anxiety, because you know that you're going to strap in there and there's no way for you to get off except for dying. Once you're on that ride, you're on the ride, you're in it. You're on till it stops. So there's a feeling before you get on and before you try out a new roller coaster. This excitement kind of a feeling. It's excitement when you want to do the roller coaster. It's anxiety if you didn't want to go on the roller coaster. If someone put a gun to your head and made you get on this roller coaster and you're like petrified of roller coasters, you'd have anxiety. It's the same situation. So when you have anxiety, change your mind to excitement. So whatever you're anxious about, I have a card. Somebody gave me a card. It's a mother standing there, her eyes are closed and there's crap all over the bottom. So her house is a wreck. And she's smiling and her eyes are closed and she says, I have so much excitement in my life. I used to call it anxiety, but I feel so much better now that I call it excitement. So if you can muster getting excited about the unknown, just change it from anxiety to excitement. Okay. All right. Thanks, Brandon. Thanks, Brandon, with the fireworks. Okay. I'm still harping on number 8. What I make of my life is up to me. I have all the tools and resources I need. What I do with them is up to me. The choice is mine. Now, when you're stressed and you think that you know how your life's supposed to go, you may think you do not have all the tools and resources that you need. You may think that you're coming up short. So my friend Ben, he said, you lived in your car. How did you go from living in a car to being a pilot? Well, I made so little money that I didn't make enough money to have an apartment, to pay for an apartment. And so the only way was to live in my car. But living in my car was better than trying to maintain an apartment. Then I would have been really stressed with bills. So it was actually a blessing to have not enough money. I mean, there was no way I had enough money to rent an apartment. There just was not enough money. So it was a blessing, actually, to know that there was no chance of paying rent of any kind. And I was happy to be in Florida, and I had a car. So you just have to change your thinking to find the solutions. Okay, number 9. All of the answers lie inside me. All I need to do is look, listen, and trust. The true self is the guru. I got that from a teacher, from a t-shirt. Okay. The best teachers lead us back to ourselves. So my teachers, the people that I call my teachers in Sedona, they would say all the time, you already know how to do healing work. We are just here to remind you how you do it. Oh my God. They were so funny. I'm going to tell you a fast story. So they were Korean and they used to make us, so they would teach us this stuff and they would make us show them what we learned by putting on skits. They loved making us do skits. This was the funniest thing. I have to tell you this story. I can't take it. So one of my teachers said, you have to go to Sedona. They will know who you are when you go to Sedona. I said, all right. So I go to Sedona. And this is where I learned that our teachers, my Korean teachers, these enlightened people, when they taught, the student gave the teacher energy. The student gave the teacher energy. The teachers would basically have like a safety deposit box inside, and they would receive the student's energy. But they did not absorb the student's energy. Americans don't understand this, so Americans absorb their students' energy. This is why I'm a different teacher, because I was taught by enlightened people, and I saw this energy dynamic, and I could feel it, and I can hear also. So I'm clairaudient, so I could hear what I'm like, whoa, this is really different. So American teachers, not all, of course, but some American teachers, when they teach, they absorb their students' energy because they feel entitled to the students' energy because they're the teacher and that's the student. So when teachers absorb energy from students, they want to keep that dynamic. They never want to teach the student everything because they want to keep the dynamic of my student owes me or whatever. They don't know they're doing it. It's not conscious. It's really not conscious. The best teachers are doing this. Like, here, climb on my shoulders, you know. I was saying to Lauren, I could see some of my clients are going to have amazing lives. And I'm like, oh, I hope my life doesn't suck. And all you guys are like, you know, like, all right, that's a joke. But the best teachers like do this. So my teachers, we would be all ears listening to these enlightened Korean people. And they would hold our energy in like a safety deposit box. And then when we gave them the skit, when we did the skit for them, they would hand us a certificate. They're all big about, you did your skit, here's your certificate. And when they gave you your certificate for whatever you learned, your energy came back to you. It was very incredible, because when we had these nights where it was like, you did your skit, and I can't even tell you how much I hated it. I hated doing skits. I hated it. But then I finally realized, like, oh, there's something bigger happening here. So my teachers thought it was really funny. So, you know, and they're Korean, so like, you don't know if they're going to get what you're saying. So we're in Sedona, and it's a desert. And so we're there for 21 days, and after like a week, you know, it started raining. It was raining and raining and raining. And my teacher says very solemnly, he's very serious, and he goes, since you have come, we have had rain for days. Rain is very important in the desert, and you have brought the rain. So thank you. He's being very solemn, and he kept saying it. He kept saying it. He said it like 3 times. Very important for desert to have rain. And since you students get here, we have so much rain and flowers drinking. Thank you. And so I go, no problem. And he looks up from his little bow, and he's like, and I'm like, oh my God, I can't believe I said that. And I got this, I'm like, oh no. Like, it was like, oh, I already paid my money, you can't kick me out now. And he looked at me, and I said, it's no problem at all. He died laughing. And that's when I knew, like, okay, I could get away with my personality is going to just be okay here. So for my first skit, you had to pick something from the first week that you liked, and you got to show what you learned. So you're showing what you learned. So I took one of the other students, and I'm like, lay down, you're going to lay down, and I'm going to do this. So key energy healing. She said, okay. So I took all these carrots. From the from dinner. And I hid them. Her name was Mara. And I hid the carrots in between Mara's arms, like in different spots. She's like, what are you doing? I'm like, don't worry, it'll be funny. You know, it'll be funny. And I'm telling you, I was really nervous to do this because, you know, the rain was funny, but now I'm doing a skit for like 5 people, and I'm like, and I have it in my mind. I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be funny. And then I start to get really nervous, and I'm like, oh my God. So I'm nervous as crap. I'm sweating, and all my teachers, like these enlightened people, are sitting there watching my skit, and I have all this profound respect and you know, for these people, and I mean, they're not all enlightened, but the chunk of them were enlightened people, and they're sitting there and they're watching. And I'm sweeping, and I'm thinking, oh man, do I just leave those carrots there? Maybe I could just leave them there. And something inside me is like, you coward. This is what you always do. You always chicken out. And so I'm like, all right. So I sweep, I pretend to sweep, and then I grab a carrot from Mara's arm, and I look at it. And I just start eating it. And they all died laughing. I was like, oh, thank God. All right, sorry. All right, let's see. All right. Number 9, the answers lie inside me. Number 10, I will forget these rules unless I take the time to emotionalize them. Okay, I'll forget these rules unless I take the time to emotionalize them. Study, enlightenment, gaining wisdom and insights. So reading like Eckhart Tolle books, reading my book, that I hand you on 10/10/2020, because you're all coming. My book's going to be done by then, and I'm going to hand you my book. So, study, enlightenment, gaining wisdom and insights. Practice, the necessary action component. So the class we're going to have Saturday and Sunday is going to be all practice, because I'm doing this now. I'm really excited. I'm going to be able to do a lot. Internalize, speak, write, think, and feel in first person. I, me, my, mine. To force you to internalize all the meta-knowledge, as in metaphysical, beyond the physical plane of existence that you have collected through self-help books and workshops. Emotionalize, the key to the permanent behavioral change you're looking for through the various self-help resources you are drawn to. The empowerment piece where you live what you've learned. The difference between enlightenment, the knowledge and empowerment, and actualizing the laws of life and being the best you can be. So I'm out of debt now, and now I'm saving, because there's this really big thing I want to do, where it's like I don't know if it's like a website, I guess it's a website, where I can set up free, you get the book, and then you use the book to go through, so you don't have to pay for sessions, and then every once in a while you just call it and get a healing. I'm really excited about it. It's going to be a really free way for people to get really far by themselves. And number 11, I will remember these 11 rules for being human every time I recreate painful life lessons that make me ask, why is this happening to me again? Taking responsibility for what I have created in my life empowers me in the knowledge that if I do not like what I've created, what has already come to fruition into being, I could just create something new that I will enjoy. And, you don't have to suffer to help other people who are suffering feel better, because they would switch places with you. Okay, and then this is the last thing. Photo of fingertips before a Reiki healing session, and photo after a healing session. So you could just see that the edges are crisper, right? So no matter where you start, where you start before the healing work, all the stuff we're talking about, Reiki, I'm making this, there's energy here. When you first start, you can't feel the energy. Maybe you can't see it. But over time in the practicing and the intention of raising your vibration, you will see energy. You will see it. You'll be able to see it. It's so cool. And I'm really grateful for you guys to be on this long. Sorry that this took longer, but I threw some stories in. So I'll be live streaming again in 2 days, Friday, 8 o'clock. All right? But please send me questions ahead of time to be answered on Friday, because I really want to wrap up all that we can prior to the class on Saturday and Sunday. But there's no rush, because we're knocking out all this information right now. I love you guys so much. Thanks for coming. See you, YouTube.